Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the ASRA Cup Series here in Pocono for the Back to Blue 200. Practice just got finished up. We're going to jump right into qualifying. Just want to give a big shout out to everybody watching at home on Race Day Live. We appreciate you being here. Last week we were in Japan. This week we're in Pennsylvania. Can Brandon Six come out here and get another win? I am not sure, but I'll tell you what, there's a lot of fast times in practice so far. Let's see if this transfers over into qualifying. Brandon Six had some of your fastest times with a 54.18, but Frankie, who was out last week, is back this week. He was in fourth position with your fastest time. Watch out for Brandon Bowie and Roger Pearson at 27. First one on the track here right now as we're looking on. We're going to get this underway. My name is Jacob Emery alongside Steven Tucker, who's under the weather just a little bit. Steve, how you feeling? We're in Pocono. We got another race on a Tuesday.
Yes, sir. Man, I am pretty pumped up for today. I mean, I say that every week, I feel like, but this is a track that I truly, truly love. I was here actually for the NASCAR events back in, July? And it was honestly an incredible race, a great time. I'll probably talk about it a little further on later on today. But hey, we have a big race today, Emery. 5 races remaining in the playoff hunt to get into the playoffs. And to your point right here, this is a big day. I mean, we've had a lot of weird and unique tracks, right? Our last 3 tracks, Rockingham, Iowa, Twin Rig, Motegi. 3 oddball tracks, right? So I think today we kind of returned back to normalcy. And big speedway, some light fog on the track, which is pretty cool. So I think we'll play, that'll kind of play a role into this. A lot going on here today, Emery.
Yeah, we are on race number 10 of the regular season. Playoffs is going to start here shortly. But man, you're right, a little bit different today. A little bit of fog early on in practice. I thought we were going to see a lot more, but right now it seems like it's clearing up as these drivers are on the track, going to put in some qualifying. And I'll tell you what, such a unique racetrack at Pocono. They call it the Tricky Triangle for a reason. Every single corner is just a little bit different. Some of these guys really have it down, but I'll tell you, it is challenging. And if we're having a long race like I think we'll see today, 80 laps, you got to stay focused. As we see Real right now, he's on the pole. First one in with a 54.48. Let's see if that stays. Steve, I'm excited for some of these drivers. They've been talking about it all week. I think they're just going to have a lot of fun out here.
Oh yeah, this is one of those places that it's really, really draft dependent, which I think is going to be a big topic today for sure. Especially going down that long straightaway in the front. I mean, this straightaway right here, you're seeing it. Merrick Watchorn going down, taking his green flag right here. I mean, this straightaway, I saw it live, and I'll tell you what, I got to sign the racetrack before the race. This thing, when you look down both ends of it, you cannot believe how long it is. It's the longest on the NASCAR schedule, and it's just a sight to behold. So a lot of cool just segments of this track, a lot of fun. It's going to produce a great race today for sure.
That 91 is on top right now with the 54.38. Gets ahead of Kenny Real in the number 11. But we've got a lot more drivers out there. Speaking of a driver, that was Brandon Bowie, I believe, that saw him on the track. And now we're looking at number 15. See what kind of time he can put on there. You were talking about these long backstretch, front stretches, but hey, guess what? There is a turn right in front of you, and if you come into those corners too hot, it can really cause some issues with that car, and hopefully these guys don't be hitting that wall on turns 3 and 4. But man, I love this racetrack. It's so unique. It's so different. I think it's one of the uniquest tracks on our series on the schedule this year. Next week, we go to Milwaukee Mile. That'll be a challenge, but man, right now, I cannot wait to see some of these drivers put down the times in qualifying. And what are your thoughts on the racing? Do you think we'll see a lot of single file? You typically see that at this track. It's not a lot of side-by-side when the race is going on. You'll see them fan out and get a big old long train going.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on how that racing is going to play out?
I mean, I think we're going to see something very similar to an Indianapolis Oval, right? We had that a few weeks ago, about a month ago at this point. I think restarts will be crazy, especially turn 1, turn 2, double file, getting down into that. So maybe the first couple of laps of a restart might be pretty wild, honestly. But I think after that, there's definitely big chances of long green flag runs. I think that's just what it's going to be. It's going to straighten out. It's going to single file for pretty quickly, I would say, overall. and then drafting will come into play after that. So I think that's kind of the storyline today. I think we're going to see that happening, but it just depends on how crazy these guys want to get. I mean, hey, a lot of guys after today, 4 races left in the playoff hunt, and it's going to start to get a little dicey.
Yeah, right now everything counts. You got a championship playoffs. That's going to take you 12 drivers, and then you're going to have contender playoffs. That's 8 drivers. So 21 total drivers out here to compete. Anybody under that 21 mark can no longer be competing, and they're out there going to be just driving for bragging rights. But hey, those 12 drivers, some of these guys really on the cutoff line. Matt Fleming, he's in 13th spot. He's kind of flirting with that position. You got Meeks and Real. He's 14 and 15. You got to watch out. But hey, 4 laps or four races left. There is time to make some moves up this leaderboard, but they're running out of time in the regular season.
Oh, yeah, and keep in mind, too, I mean, today, Pocono, definitely a big track. I mean, next week, Milwaukee Mile, to your point, it's kind of like that New Hampshire-ish kind of a track, flat 1 mile, so that'll be fun to see. Darlington, classic race, obviously. Everybody loves that track in some form or fashion. As we see Roger Pierce right now on the preliminary pole, the 54.04. Great job right there. Pink car, by the way. You'll start to see a lot of pink cars this month, as it is Breast Cancer Awareness. So, Emery, we will be dedicating a race toward that. I believe it's going to be Darlington, if not Road America. So we'll definitely get that information out there. But right now, a lot of pink cars. Love to see it.
Yeah, Roger Pierce up there with that 54.04 has the pole as it stands. You're right. That is one of the drivers that has that pink accent car. Good looking car as well. Hey, we're gonna have 2 stages. Stage 1's at 15, stage 2's at 35. This is gonna be such a long race, and I think we're gonna go caution free. I really expect, I really think today we might see one of our first races all season go caution free. That's just my thought. I'm just thinking that may happen, but I could be wrong, as now we're looking at the number 18 of Darrell. Ooh, number 12 hits the wall. He is upside down. That is also a first this year of a car going upside down in qualifying. That's Nick Lights.
That's good old fashioned.
Oh my gosh.
Good old fashioned Nick Lights today. Subbing in for just that 12 machine. Marshall Harris. He's a guy, Nick Lights, who always likes to play around. So just flying into the inside wall, why not, right? To end up your qualifying. But right now, Matthew Fleming on track. On that bubble right now, so currently about 3 points back from making his way into the championship hunt, and right now, P11.
Not a bad starting position for him. Love to see him up there. He will start 11th if that stands in that 88 car. Now we're looking on board the 29. See what time he can put up there. That's Smith. His first one was a 54.83. Can he improve? It looks like he will stay down there.
Yeah, slows down his
bottom a little
there. Bit. Good. Hey, real shout out, quick shout out to Jonathan Wright right here. Today's race, folks, is called the Back the Blue 200. It's just an overall shout out to all of our men and women in the blue uniform, obviously protecting and serving our local communities and cities. So big thanks to them. John Wright right here, a part of that force, as well as a couple others in the field as well. So want a big, just an overall shout out to Jonathan Wright as he comes down here taking his lap for qualifying. We're going to cover a lot more about this later on. But Jonathan Wright, right now, 23rd place. Not too bad. We've seen Jonathan Wright, Emery, a couple of these last few races, man. He just shows up when he needs to. Last second, top tens.
Yeah, and here's the thing about this field is even guys that are going to start in the back, you can't just count them out. They're going to make their moves, and I think it's, a strategy. Any one of these drivers can come out. It really doesn't matter where they qualify. By the end of it, you'll see them up there in the top 10. So any of these guys at the bottom, Real, Meeks, Anderson, Young, I mean, all of them can make their way back. I can't wait to see how this unfolds. Like you're talking about it, Back the Blue 200 here at Pocono. We will talk about this later today. One driver I haven't seen on the track just yet, as we're looking at the 26 out there. Devin, we haven't seen Brandon Bowie, and I'm curious to see what time he puts out in qualifying. This is one of his favorite tracks.
It is.
Mr. Brandon Bowie.
Right now, Devin Smirker on the track right here. Hey, big shout out to a couple of great sponsors here on the car. Cardano and then Hosky. Those guys are going to be sponsoring us in the series here for 4 races later on, starting off next week. The Cardano 150 going to be a great time, so look out for that. We'll be talking a lot more about those great sponsors here shortly. But that's the checkered flag. A couple guys not qualifying, to your point. Man, Emery, just Brandon Bowie not deciding to qualify there. But hey, Brandon 6 up top in that P1 spot.
Let's see if he can continue what he's done all season long. Surprising that Brandon Bowie did not qualify, but he will start in the back as we've got 80 laps. Man, big, long race. 6 Pierce, Frankie, the number 91 in the 4th, and Honeycutt in that 5 position. That's your top 5 as it sits. We will go through the field once they get on the grid. I'm having a lot of fun here in Pocono. I think this is going to be a fantastic race as we see that number 27 car. That's that Extreme. Got some pink accents on it. It looks amazing. That's Roger Pierce.
Hey, this right here is a specialty of Harpoon Design. So go and check them out, harpoondesign.com. You'll meet up with Brantley, and I'll tell you what, he produces the absolute best paints on iRacing. Do not get it mistaken. Go and check him out, harpoondesign.com. This right here is a great example of what he can do. But right now, going through the field, Brandon 6 going to be your pole sitter today again at Pocono. Great job right there. That P1, Roger Pierce going to be rolling off P2. Watch out for him again. Hey, hasn't won yet, but wants to. Definitely hungry. Expect him to be a player today for sure. P3, Frankie Barroso, back after last week. Right now, Frankie Barroso, reigning champion here at Pocono from last season. Expect him to be good today for sure. Merrick Wattorn, rolling off P4. Love this out of Leesburg, Virginia, in that 91. Great effort right there for sure. Haven't seen a lot of him this season. Kind of off and on, but right now, looking really, really good. Tyler Honeycutt of the Honeycutt family, P5, rolling off. Excellent job right there for him. Devin Smerker, just talked about him. Love that breast cancer awareness paint. That pink and white, looking good today. Rolling off P6. P7, Nick Lights, subbing in for Marshall Harris today. Nick Lights, always a good driver. Again, the ASRA Truck Series back-to-back champion. So watch out for him as well for sure today. James Kaufman, awesome effort today. P8. DJ Honeycutt, 9th place, rolling off. Look at that pink metallic paint scheme. Loving that. Donnie Honeycutt, 10th place. Joseph Millie rolling off P11 right there. Matthew Fleming rolling off 12th. Great looking car right there. Robert Hissong, P13. Solid effort. Mike Corvo, not currently on the track just yet. Daryl Young right here. There he is. As the picture of the Wendy's chili as this picture. Love to see that. Jackson Anderson rolling off P15 in the 83, looking good right there. 16th, Thomas Meeks. Gonna follow up a great effort by him. Kenny Reel, 17th place right now. Villalobos, 18th place. Richard Woodruff, 19th. Great job by them. Richard Walsifer, 20th place. Josh Larson rolling off 21st. Scott Gasorn, 22. In the pink highlighted Budweiser's car, looking good today. Jonathan Wright, we talked about him earlier. Back to blue supporter. Great run for him today. Anthony Williams, 24th place. Matt Smith, Season 1 champion, 25th place. Trevor Zelazny, similar cars today from Matthew Fleming. Looking good. Double Flem Dog action today. Brandon Bowie, Season 3 champion right here. Starting not to qualify. 27th place today. Nick Simpson, you love to see it. 46th. Sauer and Son, a lot of fans today in the chat. Love that. 28th place. Mike Corvo, going to be rolling off dead last. Looks like 29th place, rolling off the field. Emery, that's your field.
Hey, that is your field. Another big field here, Pocono. I'm going to call it right now. Some of these drivers, we got Meeks, Real, and Smith, even Matt Fleming, they got to make a move here today to get some points up as we got a green flag in Pocono as our race is underway. Brandon 6 out front will take us into turn 1. Roger Pierce on that outside, and that 27 is going to run the outside lane.
Turn 1 is so treacherous. Can they get through clean? You called it, Emery, a caution-free race. We'll see if we can see that today for sure. Oh,
and
man.
That is not going to happen as our first caution comes out in after turn 1. We got Julio. Looks like he got spun or got a little bit loose. We'll have to take another look at that. Well, there goes the caution-free race, Steve. I was incorrect with my prediction.
Hey, you know what? At least we got it out of the way nice and early.
That's right.
So no problem there. But yeah, to your point, Villalobos crashed. It looks like we'll take a look back at it. Race day replay. Oh man, Matthew Fleming gets up right there into Jackson Anderson. We'll cover that in a second. Oh, a big blink.
Yeah, was that the 51? I'm not sure who that was back there. Huge blink in the back.
Yeah, we'll cover this a few times. We saw definitely some incidents. So Josh Larson, we'll watch him for a second. We can't really watch him because he's blinking out. I think Villalobos was just right there in front of him, unfortunately. But hey, good news for Villalobos. No damage, it looks like, on that car. So thank God nobody else got into him or T-boned him. But yeah, no harm, no foul right there on lap 1.
Yeah, what can happen with that is if you have a connection issue, your car will actually disappear. And when that connection comes back, it'll reappear. And unfortunately, sometimes it will be in contact with another car, which can cause some major issues. Right there, we saw almost a 4-wide situation as they get some contact, but it was in the back. Julio, unfortunately, the victim of this first caution. No damage, just a little spun. Might have to go and get some tires and get back out there. But 2 laps down. This brought out our first caution.
Yeah, and the great thing about this track is that, Emirates today, our stage is lap 15. That's our first stage. So, fuel wasn't going to be an issue anyway for the first stage, but man, this is going to shorten up that first stage even more. Turn 1, we knew it was going to be treacherous, especially on the restarts. We mentioned it pre-race. So we'll see how that works out. I think if we can get past, turns 1 and turns 2, I think we're going to be good. Right now, a couple drivers actually pitting, coming down pit road, topping off on fuel. So some great moves right here for these guys.
So they're going to come in, get some fuel real quick, maybe fix the damage if they've got it. This is such a long racetrack, 2.5 miles, 3 turns. We were talking about it earlier. Every single turn is just a little bit different. So you really got to pay attention. These long, fast back stretches and front stretches, it can be easy to come these corners and make these mistakes. Coming too hot, coming too slow, you lose pace. But I think that this race, in my opinion, I think this race will become single file. We'll start to see these guys really figure out the car early, as now the choose car's out, and we will decide if they're going to go into the bottom or the top lane. I think early on right now, Steve, it's not going to make too much of a difference.
Well,
I think you'll be on.
Here's the thing. Stage 1 happened so quick. It's kind of just a sprint to get to that. So you really want to get those points, as best you can. Right now, we're seeing the top line predominantly being chosen here.
Now, some of these drivers that started in the back, do you think they were thinking of maybe the long run? Do you think they're gonna be sitting back there just saving tires to try to get up there and think this race will go green? I would have to imagine that's the decision. That's their mindset.
I think that's what we're going to see, to be honest. I think we're going to see a lot of guys, because fuel mileage is really about 15, 16 laps, maybe a little more than that. But at the same time, really, I expect to see people, pit at the end of stage 1, obviously, but maybe not even take tires, or maybe even take 2 tires. The race is so long, 80 laps here today. So stage 3 is going to be, probably a two stop kind of a stage. So really, it's going to come down to, holding on to the tires, being as fast as you can later on in the race, and that way you can make it happen there. So take the tires, maybe stage 2, and then, twice, at the end of the race, or maybe that last green flag pit stop, you don't take any tires. So I think tires-wise, we'll see a lot of different strategies today, for sure.
Gonna be fun to watch. Mike Curvo and Julio in that 78, they are down a lot of positions. They will start in the back now. Nothing's really changed up front. Brandon 6, he's up front. Merrick in the 91, he's second. Frankie Barossa, who was out last week, is back this week. He's going to be in 3rd position in that 48 car. Roger Pierce, he's in 4th. And Nick Lights subbing. He's in that 12 Chevy. He went up 2 spots. He'll be in the 5th position. That's your top 5. As we got to go to the 15 mark, that will be the end of stage 1. Pace car lights are off, and then we'll get back to green flag as we're seeing the number 12 right there of Nick Lights, that yellow and black car. Good look out here. Flimdog's car also painted by Harpoon Designs. They come around the corner here. We're about to go green. This pace car will come off the track. Let's see if we can get a couple laps in. As these drivers try to figure out this track early on in Pocono. 2.5 miles, 3 turns in Pennsylvania. That pace car is off. We're going to go back green. Brandon 6 now starts on the outside. He's going to take us into turn 1. Merrick in that 91 Chevy. He's in second down below. 27 and 26. Get a big push on that outside as they're going to work together.
See if we can do it again right here. Clean start right now. Brandon 6 comes down. Further back in the field, though, where we saw the issues happen earlier. Right now, clean start. Turn 1 looking really good, but turn 2 just as bad. What can they do here? Coming down lap 5.
6 laps down as they cross, as we're a little bit of side-by-side action as they're single file front. Nick Lights looks like he's going to slow down just a little bit there. He's going to drop a couple spots.
Jackson Anderson right there got a little bit of a contact on the inside of Kenny Reel in that number 11. Managed to get off of him. Coming down. Green flag, full song this time, Memory. Down that front stretch. So long. Brandon 6 up at the front still.
He's got that clean air out front. Roger Pierce right behind him. Can Devin help him out? Merrick and that 91's up there as well. Back in the back, Thomas Meeks, Jackson Anderson, Robert Hassong, and Kenny Reel. I think that is going to be a fight to the end as they're trying to battle it to get to the top 10 area. James Kaufman back there in that Chevy. He's in that 25. He's lost a couple spots. Let's see if he can jump back up there.
Yeah, right now too, folks, you're going to see a lot of particle effects or fog. Don't adjust your iPhone or your monitor. That's just foggy conditions today in Pennsylvania.
A little bit of weather action going on, Steve. I love to see that.
Some added challenge today for these drivers. Hey, visibility, it's not that bad, but definitely affects the handling and the track conditions. So right now we're going to see different conditions, potentially maybe even versus the end of the race.
We're also seeing a little bit of different lines here. Frankie, he's kind of staying out, working with the number 26 of Devin. He is right on his bumper as they're going to pass that 91 of Merrick in the Chevy. Now, Frankie's been running that outside the mid-side lane. He hasn't really dropped inside behind 91, so interesting to see that early on for Frankie. 7 laps down now at Pocono. Nick Light still back there in that 12. He's now going to try to get past Joseph Mealy, and he takes the inside. Can he get the pass coming into turn 1 as they just crossed 8 laps down now? Brandon 6 still up front. One car going way low on the inside. Drops down, tries to beat that draft. It looks like that's Tyler Honeycutt. He's in that 3 car. That black and blue Tar Heels. Good looking paint scheme.
Yeah, further back, Emra, you're going to see a lot of these drivers right now, single file, but it just takes so much. The drafting right here, especially down this front stretch. I mean, look at this. In the car cam.
Oh, car on the wall in the back there. He saves it.
Yeah, onboard Matthew Fleming, you can see the draft. They just get so close. Downshifting typically around all 3 of these corners. Great exit right there for him too. So yeah, I mean, Emery, a lot of different things right here. This track races like a big, 2.5 mile track like it is, but it also kind of acts as a road course. 3 different corners, downshifting, upshifting. It's very unique.
Yeah, it's so unique. It's so different than other racetracks. as we'll see these guys really try to make the adjustments. And like I said, they'll try to lose that draft coming over the start-finish line. You'll see guys start dropping way low to try to make that work. Because right now, a lot of single file. The number 3 car side by side in the back, but man, 10 laps down, stage 1's at 15. You're right, Steve. This is going to come to an end quick. Kind of just a quick little first stage. 15 laps is not a lot. These are going by fast.
Yes, sir. Really, really quick. Again, that yellow flag came out. Fuel is not an issue. So right now, it's just an absolute dash to get inside that top 10. And to your point, we're seeing a lot of drivers right now. This is the top 10 line right here. Daryl Young, Joseph Mealy. So you're seeing Donnie Honeycutt right below and James Kaufman trying to get to that top 10 to get stage points. These guys need it. Try and get into that championship playoffs. We're getting close. Again, like I said, 5 races to go.
Yeah, as it sits right now, it looks like Matt Fleming and Meeks, Kenny Reel, Smith, they're all right there on that bubble. They got to get all the points they can to get up there in the championship playoff of 12 drivers. We also take 8 drivers. That's for the contenders. As we finish this regular season, we will have them mark on the ticker, as you can see. Everybody at home, Race Day Live, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you being here. We are at Pocono for this 2.5-mile race. Back the Blue 200. Only 4 more laps to go, and our first stage will come to an end. Brandon 6 still up front, but we've got a battle in the back of this race in the middle of the pack.
Yes, sir. And even further back, I mean, a couple of drivers still fighting. I mean, look at this pack right here. 2 wide. This is for that 20th place right here. Trevor Zlasny, John Wright, Scott Casorn. Oh, man, Matt Smith hits the wall out of 4. Got to be careful of that. But, yeah, right here, you can see just everybody just spread out.
Yeah, that is congestion in the back. As Jackson Anderson, Matt Fleming, Thomas Meeks all right there. Man, 55 and Thomas just got a little push from Jackson in that 83. Jackson's actually going to lose quite a few spots now as Kenny Reel, Matt Fleming is going to pass him.
Hey, watch out for the lead, though. Brandon 6 was just about past. Oh, man. Merrick Watchorn gets into Roger Pierce. Roger was just side by side Brandon 6. So we'll see if they can catch back up to him. But this pack right here, a lot of fast drivers.
Yeah, Frankie, Nick Lights all the way on the inside, hits the yellow line, gets a little bit loose back there. But Frankie, Merrick, Roger Pierce, Brandon 6, all your top 4 with Nick in that 5th position. You're right, a ton of fast drivers. As Frankie's still running that mid to outside lane, he's not dropping down below with the 91 or Nick Lights. He's just staying right there with the 27 as some contact coming out of that turn. They are dooring each other, but keeping it clean. 13 laps down. We only have 2 more to the end of the stage, so they are trying to battle to do everything they can to get some points on the board.
Yeah, I can tell you that.
Single file.
Roger Pierce is not going to like that. I mean, Merrick was basically dooring him a couple of different corners. Later on in the race, if they're side by side again, I can promise you Pierce is not going to show the same patience he did right there.
We go back a little bit farther. Brandon Bowie in the 54. He's in that Toyota.
Roger Pierce absolutely killed the wall right there out of turn 4. This might really affect him. Hate to cut you off, Emery, but man, that was right as we were gonna change camera angles. Good. That was a hard hit. That might affect his finish here in stage 2. We'll see how that damages remainder of the race. But man, tough break.
This is quite the battle early on in this race as the top 5 guys are racing hard. Brandon 6 out front. If it stays true, he's going to be our stage 1 winner. He's in that 66. Been up front all day long, getting some clean air. Man, oh man, some of these battles in the back too have been fantastic to watch. We're looking at that number 7, Budweiser Select, Scott Casorn in that Chevy. Brandon 6 crosses. He's going to get the stage 1 win. And that gives you any idea of how this race is going to go. I cannot wait for stage 2. That will be all the way to the 35 marks. Right now, as it sits, Brandon 6, Merrick in that 91 Chevy, he's second. Roger Pierce in that 27, he's third. Fourth in the 48, and Nick Lights in that Chevy, the number 12, subbing. He is in fifth. That's your top 5 after stage 1, as we are going to take a break and talk to our sponsors, and we will be right back. And we are back here in Pocono as stage 1 has just finished. These drivers going to go into the pits, get some fuel, change some tires, and this is when the strategy already begins. We've had a lot of action early on, 1 caution, but now we're looking at Brandon 6 leading the pack into the pits. What are these guys going to do? This is what it's all about, Steve. These racetracks like this is when strategy really comes into play. 6 is so good at saving tires, but these guys in the back, are they going to save fuel? Are they going to get all 4? So many options here at Pocono, 2.5 miles, 3 turns as they're dropping in. Pretty clean pit stops by the majority of these drivers.
Yeah, I think this is the tough part, right? We mentioned it earlier. I mean, do you take the fuel and do you just not take tires at all? I mean, that could be the case here. Just depends on what they want to do. I mean, do you save tires? Do you save a set? All depends. Right now, big fight off a pit road right here. Merrick Watron almost gets Brandon 6. Everyone else, though, fighting for those positions. Racing on the track and off the track, Emery. It's going to happen all day long.
That's what it's all about, too. And I think everybody here got 4 tires, got some fuel, and they're going to be back on the track. The second stage, a little bit longer. First stage was a shootout. Second stage, got to go to the 35 mark, and then we're going to end at 80 laps. Already going by quick here at Pocono. As some of these drivers, these big move drivers, Brandon Bowie, who started in the back, he's up to 10th. He moved up 18 spots. Richard Wolsifer, he's in that 56 Chevy. He's up 6 spots right now. Big time moves by some of these drivers early on. Darrell Young Jr. in the 18, he's up 8 spots. He's sitting at 7th. He's in that Chevy as well. Man, oh man. I was talking about this early on, and I thought the battle was going to be with Matthew Fleming in the 88, Thomas Meeks, and Kenny Reel. And guess what? They're 12th, 13th, and 14th as it stands. As now they're going to get back on the track, and they're going to have a choose car. But first, I think we're going to bring in a driver, and I think we got Brandon 6. Brandon 6, you got a copy.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey, good to see you, man. You won the first stage now. You're out front, got some clean air, looking really smooth. What are your thoughts on strategy here? What are you thinking? I mean, it seems like everyone right there just got 4 tires, some fuel, and they're back out there.
Yeah, I think at least strategy for myself is honestly try and protect the lead at all costs as much as possible, because I think clean air is going to mean a lot. I can already tell with the guys behind me, dirty air seems like a struggle. So I'm definitely going to fight as hard as possible to keep this. And I'm pretty sure, I think the plan is if I do kind of drop back, I'll try and take it a little bit, try and let tires come if I do fall back.
Right on. Well, I'll tell you what, you got some fast drivers behind you. Good luck in stage 2. Good luck in the race, and we will talk to you later.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
That is Brandon 6 in that 66. One driver that's been dominating all season long. He's up a lot of points here early on as well in the regular season, but things can change in playoff too. All these drivers out here can come out here and try to get this win, as we've got big-time names. As the pace car lights are off, we're going to go back green racing at Pocono. I can't wait to see this race unfold. Thanks for everybody at home at Race Day Live tuning in. We appreciate you being here. Pretty good viewership. We see Nick Lights, one of our drivers, actually chatting in this stream. Too bad we didn't have some face cams. He is an entertainer, I'll tell you what, and also does some NASCAR racing in real life. Ran Truck Series a few times, and then also got a shot at the Xfinity Series. So Look him up, big time name. One of these drivers in here that does it in real life. We have multiple of these drivers do it as well. At dirt track, your local track, whatever it may look like. Pace lights are off. We're going to go back green. When they cross, it's going to be 18 laps down. Brandon 6 up front again. He chose the outside lane. That number 91 Merrick Chevy, he's on the inside. Green flag is out, and we are back underway, racing at Pocono. Brandon 6 with a big jump up front with that clean air again, side by side, and then all the way back. Getting real there in that number 11. Oh, we got a car on the inside lane. Looks like he saves it. I believe that was the number 7. Or excuse me. Just these first 2 turns, Steve, they're kind of dicey as they try to figure out what route they're going to take. Got to give a little bit of room and be patient.
Yeah, we have some time to kind of spread it out now. Lap 35 is going to be our next stage. So, I mean, not as quick as the first stage, obviously, but definitely have some time to breathe. And right now, coming down that front stretch, long front stretch, they can kind of hold on to the tires a little bit. I think at this point, they kind of know, they've seen the wear and how it works. I think right now they're going to really kind of settle in, figure out what kind of race this is going to turn out to be.
Yeah, looking at Daryl Young and that 18, that Chevy, he's up 8 spots, still right there in 7th. That Grey Goose white and blue car with the pink accent. Love to see that out here. 19 laps down, 20 when they cross, and now you're seeing that single file look. Brandon Bowie in that 54, that Toyota, he's up 20 spots. He's sitting 8th. This is one of his favorite tracks. Pocono Raceway. Talks about it quite a bit. Can he save the tires? Can he make his way all the way back up front? Richard Wolsifer in that 56, that Chevy, he's in 13th, having a good early run.
Man, Anderson right here in the 83 and Matt Smith down below. These two had some issues right there. Jackson way up high. Not quite into the wall, but man, that was some close racing. Some doorage, as they say, out of turn 3.
Yeah, I love this battle. We got Jackson Anderson, we got Thomas Meeks, Josh Larson in that 51, that Chevy. This is going to be an entertaining second stage. Little battle in the back for 15th position, man. That's going to be fun to watch. 51, Josh Larson, he was out yesterday. He's back this week. Missed him last week in Japan, but Pocono, can he come out and have a day? He's up 5 spots. Not a bad look for him so far.
Back at the front, we're seeing, I mean, Nick Lights in that 12, again, subbing in for Marshall Harris. He's making a move here on that 91 of Merrick Watchorn. Merrick is a little loose right there. Saw the back end kick out just a tad. Frankie Barroso trying. Oh, Thomas Meeks in the back here. Hit the wall. Caught that out of the corner of my eye. Man, got into the wall on the outside of turn 1. Recollects it. We keep going.
And Nick Lights, he wasn't too fast in practice, but right now coming out here and he's keeping up with pace. Been sitting in top 5 all day long. Can he keep it up? He's one driver that you gotta look out for. Subbing number 12, Nick Lights in the Chevy. DJ Honeycutt. He's been consistent. He's staying right there in the top 10. He's in 9th position. See if he can make quite the run. He's kind of by himself back there. Not a lot of traffic behind him. He just needs to do his race, hit his lines. I think he'll have a day. Now we're kind of split up, Steve. We got that pack up front that's really battling out. And then in the middle, quite a bit of space as they're single file. But in the back there with Jackson Anderson, Richard, Josh Larson, they are really getting aggressive, and I love to see that.
Yeah, in a lot of things like this too, I mean, at a track like this, it's kind of like a super speedway in the sense of like, if you've got somebody slow or maybe out of shape in one lane who's leading a lane, it's tough to really, get across or make that lane move, right? So I think we're kind of seeing that here. Man, Jackson Anderson gets into the wall again out of turn 3. Tough break. Villalobos into the wall. We're going to watch this battle real quick. Got a feeling this is going to be some prime content right here. But yeah, this track is tough, Emery. It's, the packs can separate, even though it's only single file, it's just hard to pass, right? So those lanes can get blocked.
As we're looking at the 51, still continuing to blink. That could cause some issues. If he has more connection problems, they may ask him to park it. Hopefully that is not the case. Ooh, gets a little bit loose. Jackson right there in the 83 goes outside, tries to almost kiss the wall. Larson put it on a block in front of the 78 of Julio. Man, early on, racing Julio gets in the bumper of them. They both get a little bit loose. Man, oh man, 3 wide. Thomas Meeks, an innocent bystander, tries to get through this pack. Just cannot. That's probably going to be some conversation over comms, Steve. That's pretty wild. 24 laps in, and they're leaving it all out there.
Yeah, I mean, Villalobos not happy right there. You can tell. I mean, didn't appreciate the block. Maybe even some issues earlier, too, but trying to get back to the front there for Julio here in that 78.
One driver that love to see that in the back is Jackson Anderson. He's in that Chevy. Now he's kind of in by himself. Doesn't have much traffic by him. He can really let the race come to him and be patient and maybe get that car back under control, as it looks pretty good right now.
Big battle right here. DJ Honeycutt on the outside of Richard Walsifer. Coming out of turn 3. This is for 12th place. So right now, 10 laps to go in stage 2. They're trying to fight to get into that top 10 for stage points. Again, this is huge, obviously, for the playoffs and for your season. So right now, what can they do here? 10 laps to go in stage 2.
Only 10 to go, and then we'll be at the end of stage 2. Richard up 9 spots. He's in 12th. DJ Honeycutt lost a couple spots, but right there in that mix. And you go all the way up to, looks like Matt Fleming and Kenny Reel.
Taking a look back at the front of the pack right now, Brandon Bowie makes his way to the front. Started pretty much dead last, so looking pretty good there. Devin Smirker, though, right there. 2 pink breast cancer awareness cars. Loving this. Devin Smirker and Roger Pierce looking solid right now. Top 5, top 6 cars. All pretty close, Emery. Seeing some good racing up here in the front.
Yeah, looking really strong. Frankie up there in that 48. Brandon Bowie just being really patient. Made his way through the field. I think that's one driver at the end. I know he's probably just saving as much as he can on those tires and letting the race come to him. I think you'll start seeing him make some ground at the end of this stage 2. I wouldn't be surprised if he jumps up there almost right behind Brandon 6. But Merrick in the 91 Chevy, man, he's having a day. Him and Nick Light's battling up here. Been back and forth. They've been up in 3rd, 4th, 5th position. They've been here all day long. Love to see that. And Devin in the 26, that Ford, he's in 6th. Right in front of Roger Pierce.
Quick check on the further back of the field. Robert Song, Nick Simpson right here. This battle right here, they have not settled down since the restart. Lots of drivers right here. Further on, Jonathan Wright right here, right in the middle of the hornet's nest. This is tough. This is a lot of time right here and points. You can just tell. I mean, this mid to back field, Emery, this season is extremely competitive, and typically puts on the best racing that we see week in and week out.
No, you're absolutely right. And these guys that can fall back and make their way all the way through the pack and get up to the front is really impressive. You know, you think if you drop back, you may have a little bit of damage or you spin. It's hard to get through the field, especially with this lineup, these type of drivers. But a lot of these drivers can come out here and make it happen. As Kenny Reel in the number 11, he's now up in the top 10. One driver to look out for, Kenny Reel. He's up 9 spots. He's looking really strong today in that Jordan car. He's improved so much from last season, Steve. Love to see him out here competing like he is.
Yeah, real quick, just wanted to cover Frankie, bro. So he was in 2nd place a second ago, and man, he is falling off like a rock. Not sure what happened here. Maybe got into the wall, but That's a tough break for him. Right side of the car does look damaged. Looks like he might have gotten into that wall pretty heavy there. We'll see him come around right here. Yeah, you see the scuff marks. That's a bad break for that Frankie Barroso 48 machine. That should affect him for this race. We'll see, though. We'll cover it.
Yeah, man, it looks like he's struggling in that car right now. That 48 getting pretty loose on him. I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but he is dropping back all the way now in 7th. As these drivers, Daryl Young, Keeney Real, going to track him down and see what they can do. 29 laps down. As he crosses, going to be 30. And then we'll only have 5 more to go to the end of the second stage. Stage 1, Brandon 6 was your winner. Who's going to take stage 2? We're looking in the back here, some more battling. That's that 26 car. That's Devin up front. He's actually in 5th.
Yeah, there's some players here for sure. I mean, Merrick Watchhorn, very, very fast today. Brendan Bowie, obviously, back up to the front after starting off way back in the pack. The Nick Lights were here, too. So don't count out, I mean, really anybody in this top 7, I would say, top 8. These guys can all get it done.
Yeah, I like how they're being patient. They're not pushing it too hard. They're single file. They're not diving in, trying to make these passes. They're just letting it happen. And Brandon 6 is up front, but not by much. I think, in reality, I think they're really tracking him down. Merrick is now in 2nd. He's in that 91 Chevy. He, I believe, is closing the gap. Brandon Bowie's closing the gap. Nick Lights is right there in 4th. Devin, Roger Pierce, Frankie Barroso, Daryl Young. Such a big top 10 field right now, as we only have 5 more laps to go to the end of this stage. We got to go to the 35 mark. We're seeing one driver now jump to the inside as they're doing a little battle in the back.
Battle here for P17, Trevor Zlasny and Jackson Anderson. Trevor going down low here, has the preferred lane typically. Jackson, though, a little loose, looks like, on exit, but woof, gets close.
Yeah, Meeks kind of gave him a bump, Steve, in the back there in that 83. Telling you, this group right here with Jackson, Meeks, and Larson, you got the 23 right there of Trevor. They're kind of just battling each other out, as now Thomas Meeks going to jump to the inside, see if Jackson lets him pass. They have really been burning them up back here. Dooring side by side, dooring each other. Jackson's getting a little bit loose, hitting the wall. I think Thomas Meeks is getting a breath of fresh air, getting by Jackson to see if he can keep it clean.
I've been watching this battle right here too, and Donnie Honeycutt, man, and Richard Woodruff right there gets loose on the exit of turn 3, excuse me. No, turn 4 here. And yeah, tough break. Frankie Barroso actually coming down pit road before the stage ends, gives up the stage points. You can see the damage on the right side of that car. So before the pits close, with 2 to go, comes down pit road. What kind of strategy is this, Emery?
I think he needs tires. I think he needs to fix that car. It's just too loose to be out on that track right now. He was losing a ton of spots. He's going to need a caution, but it could play into his benefit if the cars are dealt right. But that's going to be tough for him to come back, as we've only had 1 caution so far.
Yeah, well, keep in mind, caution comes out. Caution comes out in 3 laps.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to have to stay out regardless after that caution comes. So a little bit of different strategy for him now that he pitted early.
Absolutely. Brandon Bowie gets up to P2 with 2 laps to go in stage 2. And what does he have for his teammate Brandon 6? But this battle right here for Smirker, Watchhorn, Lights, Pierce. A lot going on here. What do they have? Again, we saw Roger Pierce hit the wall, I believe, on a turn 1 earlier in the race. That damage might be affecting him for sure, but this battle for P1 to get the stage win, who's it going to go to?
Brandon is trying everything he can. Brandon Bowie in that 54 to get this stage 2 win. He dove it on the inside. I think he has the tires. I think he's trying to set up 6 so he can get this pass. Is he going to drop to the inside now? Can he stay there? Brandon 6 closes the door on him. Now here we go. Look at number 26, Devin. He is always in that right spot to let these guys battle it out, and then he's going to try to make that move to get some points to make this pass. Brandon 6 is now going to let him go the inside. He stays outside. Ooh, in that 54, can he just get around? He cannot. As now 26 is going to go inside of Brandon.
Well, this is it right here.
Fantastic driving.
Next time by is the stage end, so.
Who's going to make this late run? Last lap before the stage ends. Every point counts. Stays true. Brandon 6 will get another stage win here. There'll be a second win today. They are in the back tracking him down one more corner until they get to the start-finish line. Brandon 6 still up front, but the 26 and Brandon Bowie battling. Brandon looks like he's going to get him. Brandon 6 gets another stage win here. Brandon Bowie in second. Devin in third. Merrick in that 91. He's in fourth. Nick Lights in that Chevy, that number 12, he is in fifth. That's your top 5 as it sits. But if we keep going, Roger Pierce in the 27, he's 6th position, finishing here stage 2. Daryl Young Jr. in that 18, he's 7th. DJ Honeycutt, number 15, he's 8th. Kenny Real jumping up 9 spots, he's 9th. And Matt Fleming in the Chevy, the 88. That is your top 10 after stage 2. No cautions. One caution early on in this race. It's been fantastic to watch here in Pocono. 2.5 miles, 3 turns. We appreciate everyone being here. Race Day Live. Thanks for tuning in. You guys are awesome. Like, sub, tell your friends and family. We are going to take a quick break. We thank our sponsors, and we will be right back. And we are back at Pocono. These drivers are in the pits making some calls here. Do they take 2 tires? Do they take 4 tires and get some fuel? But looks like it's kind of a mix-up as they are jumping out of the pits. A lot of traffic back there. Brandon Bowie got out of the pits first. He is now ahead of Brandon 6. Devin in that 26. He's in third. Nick Lights in fourth. Roger Pierce is in fifth. That's your top 5. It's changed just a little bit. And this is where all the strategy comes into play. That was our final stage at 35 laps. We go all the way to the 80 mark, and that will be the finish of this race. What is going to happen? This is where it all counts. This top 10 field right now, Steve, has been unbelievable. Big-time names and big-time racing in the back, as well as we saw Meeks, Josh Larson, Robert Hussong, Jackson Anderson, all in the mix there. I just don't know what's going to happen at the end of the stage, but it's been a fantastic race early on at Pocono as we got a long ways to go.
Yes, sir. Right now, as they choose, I do want to bring in Devin Smirka real quick just to talk about his race so far. Looking really good, really fast, obviously, and looking pretty good. So let's bring him on board if we can.
And I think we do have Devin. Devin, you got a copy.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Hey, it's going good. You're coming out strong, man. You've been up front all day long right now. You're up 3 spots. You're in third. How you feeling? How's that car feeling here at Pocono?
Guys, it is so hard to pass out here. Mega draft, and then you get down in the corner, and it's just mega tight. So think it's going to be a battle of whoever ends up in front after the last pit stop. It's going to be really, really hard to pass them, no matter who it is.
Yeah, we've been seeing it here in the booth. We've been watching this race, and you're right. It seems like you almost feel like you got that pass on the inside, and then that outside car will kind of run away with it. But hey, you're doing a great job, Devin. Devin in that 26. He's in 4th. Good luck to you, man.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Got a quick word with him. Seems like it's been a little tough out there, Steve. It's not easy to pass, as we kind of saw Brandon Bowie late in the second stage trying to make a move on Brandon and just couldn't quite get there and finish it.
Yeah, it definitely is tough. I mean, Bowie, now that he's at the front of the field, I think he's going to be a contender for sure. I mean, he just knows this track. He's very good here. But again, do not count out Devin Smirker. I mean, Nick Light subbing in, Roger Pierce right there. I mean, we have so many drivers that can win races that just haven't yet, and I'll stick by that. And right now, I think we're going to see these guys really contend here. We're going to have about 42 laps of green flag stops, or I'm sorry, of a stage 3. So, if my math is correct, we should see, Emery, 2 green flag pit stops, assuming it does go green. So, fuel here, it's going to be interesting. Tires, I don't know, man. I'll tell you what, it's going to be a lot of fun watching this thing end up in the second half of this race.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch Brandon Bowie up there up front. He picked the inside lane. Can he take advantage of the fresh air and run away from Brandon 6? We shall see. The pace car is off, and we're going to go back green at Pocono. Brandon Bowie up front on the inside is going to take us into turn 1. Nick Lights with a good jump. He is in 2nd. He's trying to get past Brandon 6. And Devin, we just spoke to in that 26 car. That's your top 4. Brandon Bowie out front early on at a turn 1.
Looking really good. Great restart right here. We're going to try it. Last couple of weeks have been sketchy. Let's try it, though. Bring the Noise, sponsored by HarpoonDesign.com. Let's get it, man.
Fantastic shots by our producers as we bring the noise caution free here at Pocono. 41 laps down. We are back. Trevor, Daryl Young, and Richard, they are all jumping up. Trevor in that 23 Chevy, he's up 17 spots. He's in 10th, battling out with Daryl Young and Richard in the 56. Josh Larson as well came out of the pits, and now he's sitting in 12th. Big time battle in the back as he's trying to make his way back up front. Fresh tires, they've got fuel. And we've had nothing but green flag racing for the end of this stage. They got to go all the way to the end at the 80 mark. Who's going to come out victorious? Love to see this, Steve, as we're on board. We're looking at the 51 of Josh Larson. He's running that outside lane. He's got the number 3 behind him of Tyler Honeycutt in that Chevy. He's sitting 13th. Steve, it's kind of looking like there's 2 groups here. You got a group in the back, and then you jump up here. You got Kenny Reel in that 11 in the mix-up with Roger Pierce, Trevor, and DJ Honeycutt.
Yeah, there's some massive battles here, Emery. I mean, like Devin said, clean air is going to be king today. It's tight conditions. I mean, it's just fast, draft dependent, just that style of track. And right here, I mean, you can see it. There's packs. Right here, Daryl Young going to try and make a move here on his teammate. Roger Pierce can't quite get it done, but this is the story right here. Now we're settled in. Stage 1 and 2 are over. Stage 3 is half of the race. So hold on to the tires, hold on to the fuel. What do you have for him?
Yeah, it's crazy to see. We almost have 3 different races within one. We've got Brandon Bowie up front leading the pack, and then you fall back to Kenny Reel in the 11. That's going to be your second group. And if you jump back even farther than that, we've got Josh Larson and those drivers battling it. So pretty unique situation at Pocono, 44 laps down. But I'll tell you what, unique situation as well to see Brandon 6th. He's 5th. He's dropped 4 spots. Now looking to get passed by Kenny Reel. Can he get by him? Also, DJ right behind him, knocking on the door. 27 of Roger Pierce in that Chevy. He's in 8th. He's kind of letting those guys just battle it out in front of him, being pretty patient in that 27 Extreme car with some... Sorry about that. Mike broke up a little bit. I am back.
Yeah, one thing to not do for sure is discount Kenny Reel. I mean, right now he is looking really good. Last week at Twin Ring Motegi looked very impressive. And right here, I mean, man, fighting for P7 up front a little earlier too. So some differing tire strats right now, but looking very, very good. Trying to get that clean air. And right now, oh, big wreck right here. James Kaufman further on back. Coming out of turn 4. Man, oh man, has some damage to the front end, I believe, to that car. Yeah, right front.
Yeah, he's going to have to get that one fixed. Happened way in the back, fortunately, but unfortunate for the 25 of James Kaufman. Just not having quite his day today. Struggling here at Pocono. Good avoidance there in the back. Nobody else in contact. But man, oh man, James Kaufman down 20 spots. That's going to put him at the 29th mark when we go back to this restart. Now, was there contact there, Steve?
I'm trying to... there might have been, but like with Villalobos. We'll go back one more time and really just kind of paint a picture in turn 3. I mean, yeah, close battle right here. We'll right on board the chopper view. James Kaufman down low right there. Tight right. Oh, Villalobos is the one who gets loose.
Yeah, I think James just came up the track a little bit, which started the issue, and then Julio got involved. James getting the worst of everything. But I think he can get that fixed and come back on the track.
For sure.
We can get back up there.
Right on board Villalobos real quick and just take a ride along for this turn 3 and see what actually might have happened here. I mean, some tight racing. James to your left gets pretty close to Woodruff there in that blue and white machine. Oh, actually makes contact with Villalobos. Okay, we didn't catch that in the earlier shot, so that ultimately set these boys up for chaos. But yeah, to your point, I don't think it's anything too bad for Kaufman. I think it'll be fixable for sure, but still a tough break.
Yeah, unfortunate for sure. And everybody at home, don't adjust your TV. There may be a little bit of fog still out here. Early on in this race, we had some fog. Got a little bit of weather stuff going on here today in Pennsylvania. A little different than we've seen in the past, as now we're seeing Brandon Bowie going to go down in the pits. I think he's probably going to get some fuel, maybe 2 tires, and get back out there. Hopefully we can finish this race at the 80 mark. But, man, do you think these guys are going to take 4 or 2 tires, Steve?
I think at this point, they just came down and got the tires a second ago, so I don't think you take tires at all, honestly, if you're saving. But either way, this stop is interesting because it might remove another pit stop at the end of the race. So before, if it went green, it's probably a 2-stopper. If it's a caution comes out like this, it might be a 1-stopper. They'll still definitely have to pit again at the end of this race, or maybe about, you know, lap 60 or so. So, I mean, this is going to be interesting. Maybe these guys are going to try and save the fuel, you know, and then extend that. So we'll see how this works. But stage 3 is going to be interesting because, again, tires. You know, do you take tires? Do you take 2 tires? Do you save a set? I mean, to your point, look at this. Larson and Joseph Mealy staying out. These guys just got tires about 3 or 4 laps ago. Excuse me, about 10 laps ago. My math is off a little bit. So 10 laps ago. So, I mean, Clean Air being so strong, Emery, this is a good move, I feel like, for these two.
Yeah, I think you're right too. I think Larson up front there, he tends to like the long runs, and right now he's going to be up front with Clean Air. He's got some old tires. He's going to need some fuel, but I think he's in a good spot. And then Joseph Mealy, that 39, making the same call as you were just saying. I like the call. It's a little risky, but hey, you got to take the risks to get these wins out here in this league, and that's exactly what they're doing. As now they're back on the track, they're going to have to choose inside or outside lane. Pace car lights are still on. We've got 47 laps in the books. Got to go just a little bit farther to end this race. Who is going to be the winner here for the Back the Blue 200 at Pocono?
I think right here, Emery, my only concern for these two drivers would be, I mean, everybody else who just pit, they're going to try and one-stop this after this, right? So around lap 60, maybe 65, they'll have to pit again in between that window. Right now, Larson and Mealy, they're going to have to pit probably twice more for fuel. So, I mean, they're hoping maybe for a caution, that it's just kind of an opportune time, you know, something like that, right? So I think at this point, you know, it's a smart move to stay out front, I think, if your tires, you know, feel good enough. But at the same time, fuel position-wise, this might be a gamble.
Yeah, I really think this race is going to be won in the pits. Right now, you're already seeing it happen. Nick Lights, he's dropped back all the way to 11th. He may have taken 4 tires. We need to get confirmation there. But then you also have your drivers, Brandon Bowie, Thomas Meeks. Brandon Bowie especially has dropped back all the way to 9th position as well. Nick Lights in 10th now, sorry. Daryl Young Jr., he's in 12th position. All these big names up top, it kind of fell back a little bit. So lost some spots, just making adjustments. I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen when we go back green flag racing, but I'll tell you this much. Josh Larson, Joseph Mealy, those are your 2 guys up front now. Josh Larson, the 51, he is going to be your leader. He will be the one taking us into turn 1. Pocono has not disappointed, and that's why I love this track. So much going on, so much that can happen here in Pennsylvania. Man, oh man, you're looking at these shots right now. Our producer's putting these on. Love the look of that track. The fog is still hanging around just a little bit, has not died off just yet. But the pace car lights are off, and we're going to go back green flag racing, as now Josh Larson in the 51 is going to take us into turn 1. Joseph Mealy on the inside. Devin in that 26, that Ford got a huge jump. He is now in second, right behind Larson. Larson could be really fast out front with this clean air. Can he keep it out there? Let's see what he can do as he takes the inside lane. 26 at Devin right on that bumper. Gonna push him and already gonna go to the inside. Oh, big wreck in the back. Are they gonna keep it true?
I cannot believe everybody just kept that straight.
Wow.
Oh my word, Emery. Incredible job by everybody right here. That short shoot was not fun for these guys, but man, Devin Smirker at the front leads the pack. Hold on, Matt Smith back below, and Thomas Meeks involved on the front stretch. Caution's out, lap 50. Wow, that was just a lot happened there, Emery, on that lap. That was wild.
A lot of things going on. We just had Devin get up to the front. In the back, we had a caution. You're looking at Meeks. He got a little sideways, not too much contact, but he definitely didn't want to have that come out right now as we got 50 laps down. They're going to have to go back and restart this. Thomas Meeks involved in this third caution today.
Yeah.
We're going to take another look at it here.
As we're under yellow, I want to watch what happened there before the actual yellow came out. This was pretty crazy. This is onboard Nick Lights right here from the chopper view. After turn 2, it kind of goes crazy, so coming down tunnel turn. Oh, it gets into Tyler Honeycutt. Bunch of guys have nowhere to go. Very minimal damage on most of these guys, but man, Emery, just a lot going on. And then to follow it up, what brings up the caution, Thomas Meeks right here. Matt Smith on the outside, that red car, number 29. Nick Simpson trying to go 3 wide here, it looks like. That yellow car in between, really, really tight.
Just got in the back of him there in that 29, 46. Unfortunate. Man, Thomas Meeks just trying to get through it clean. He's just got caught up in some stuff right there. Turns 1 and 2. Unbelievable. Not a whole lot of damage though, Steve. I think all these cars can get back out there and fix them and get back on the track.
I think you're right. I don't think there's a major damage. I mean, look at that Thomas Meeks machine, Matt Smith there. The left side looking pretty good. Has some crinkles on the left front, but yeah, to your point, it's not terrible. Car will definitely still be able to continue, no problem. Thomas Meeks, same thing. So tough break. Even the ones involved before, like a Nick Lights. Ooh, man, holding on to the brakes right there. But yeah, it's tough racing. 30 laps to go in Pocono. Lots going to happen.
Yeah, I think what may have caused the start of that issue was Nick Lights getting a little bit loose, coming up, making some contact, and then everyone got out of place. Thomas Meeks went down there, hit that wall pretty good, and then just couldn't keep it together, as now we're looking at the number 12 of Nick Lights going into the pits. And we're also seeing the number 3 driving in there as well. That's Tyler Honeycutt in that Chevy. All the guys in the back are making this pit strategy and making the call. They're going to go in, get some fuel, get some tires.
Oh, yeah.
And I think they would be pretty good until the end of the race. I don't think they're going to have to make another stop unless my calculations are wrong, Steve.
Well, they'll make one more stop after this for sure. I mean, at this point, 30 laps to go. You can't go 30 laps on fuel. Right now, it's about 16 to 18 laps is the window. So, I mean, right now, they'll have to pit at least one more time. But at this point, for them, it'll definitely be one more time. Everybody else who hasn't pit yet from that last caution, or stage, excuse me, it'll most likely be a maybe at this point. They'll have to save some fuel, you know, kind of go from there. But right now, these guys can definitely make it one more stop. So, good to see. Again, not a lot of damage. This is going to be time. And this is the thing, Emery. Big track, 2.5 mile track. This gives time for people like Nick Simpson here in this 46 to fix the damage. James Kaufman from earlier damage. You know, Tyler Honeycutt, who got involved with Nick Lights right there. So a lot of time here can be spent fixing these cars, getting it back in shape.
And one car that had to go back into the pits and get back into shape is Frankie Barroso. He's in that 48. He's now down 20 spots, sitting 23rd right now. I'm not sure what's going on with that car. He's having some major problems. He was really strong in stage 1. stage 2 kind of fell off, and then, man, he's dropped way back. Hopefully he can get that car back together and get back to the front of the pack.
Yeah, I mean, zooming in, again, the left side looks pretty clean. The right side is the one that's the concern to me. So, has the inside damage, the outside damage there on the outside, the right side of that car. So, again, hit the wall at some point back in stage 1, I believe it was, and has never really been the same since. So, long race still to go. Can definitely get that back up.
Well, as they go by one more time, these lights will come on. But before we do, I think we're going to take a quick break, thank our sponsors, and we'll go back to Green Flag here at Pocono. And we're back in Pennsylvania. We just had a caution, but we are going to go Green Flag racing. 26 of Devin in that Ford. He's up front now. Joseph Mealy, Josh Larson, these guys are up front as well. They're 1, 2, and 3. Brandon 6 is now sitting in 4th. Brandon Bowie, who started in the back, he's found himself all the way up to the 5th position. Pace cars off. Who's going to be the winner at the end of this race? Devin in the 26. He's going to take us into turn 1. Josh Larson to follow in that outside lane.
That was really close right there. We saw the start of the race. Matt Fleming, 3 wide right there. Had some issues. A couple of drivers. Really, really close there to a botched start. Almost had the wreck right there, but we keep going.
Yeah, seems like these first 1 and 2 turns, they've almost been 3 wide in the back. That's where we've seen so much commotion. That's where the cautions have been drawn. Right now, looking clean, though, as we got a little bit of side. Oh, big run by one of these drivers up top. He made it through. Oh, 3 wide now in the back. That's the number 12 of Nick Lights. Can he keep it clean in the middle?
Tell you what, they want to save their points in their season, but man, right now 3 wide. This is where it gets crazy. 25 laps to go. Anything goes right now.
This outside lane is getting such a big run going into these turns, and then it's almost a checkup, and they're trying to fight, staying on the inside to not drive up into these cars. But it's starting to fan out up front. One car into the wall. You see the smoke. We've seen it happen all day long. 55 laps down, and we got a battle up front. Couple cars back. Joseph Mealy and Brandon Bowie side by side.
Walter
Big
Ferrari
battle
shape
there.
there. A lot of cars tight right now. You can see Walter Ferrari having some issues in that green machine. Man, tough right now. Documented it earlier. Tight conditions. Kenny Real going to try and make a pass on the inside. Lots to see
These drivers, yeah, these drivers all day have been talking how tough it is to pass on that inside. That car gets a little tight. Trying to make it work. Matt Fleming has been driving and battling all day long with the pack around him non-stop. Frankie Barroso in that 48, he's sitting right there in front of him, does make the pass. Now he's got to get past Mike in the 97, that Ford.
Hey, the ones right here in this shot that I'm looking at, Mike Corvo in that 97. Looking really good right now, trying to get back to the front of the field. Didn't qualify, so right now trying to get back up there. Jonathan Wright as well up there. Again, this is for about 17th to 18th. Still plenty of time to get back to the front. Keep in mind, Emery, these guys all pit earlier, so they're confident in their fuel. So right now it's go time.
Yeah, one driver in the bottom there. That's going to be that 97 of Mike. Made it 3 wide. He's going to try to get past Jonathan Wright in that 04, and he does. 04 right on the bumper of the 97 of Mike, saying, hey, I'm now going to take it to the inside. Can I get past you? 24 laps to go. This race is coming to an end.
Hey, but watch this, though. Devin Smirker making the pass here for Brandon 6 for the lead. What do they have right now? Devin Smirker. Great job right here on the inside. What can he do down low?
23 laps to go as they cross, and Devin's trying to make that inside work, and I think he might into turn 1. But Brandon 6 has been so smooth and so strong in that middle of the line. Just can't make it happen. Devin's got to be careful. If he keeps running that inside lane like that, he could burn the tires up. It might be smart just to get behind Brandon and let him run for a little bit, but hey, gives him a little tap in the back, says, I'm not leaving anywhere. I'm right on your bumper.
Yes, sir. Looking pretty good, though. This battle, Roger Pierce, though, right behind him. He's waiting for them to make that move. He's going to be right there. Josh Larson, keep in mind, he didn't pit Emery, and right now has still maintained the top 5, so highest position so far for him. Really holding on to it. Looking great.
Yeah, I think that's just going to build some confidence for him right now. Josh Larson up 17 spots in 5th. He's right in front of Brandon Bowie. He's kind of running out of time if he wants to make this late move. 22 laps to go. The race is really up front, though. Devin and Roger Pierce. All things go in that extreme car. Both breast cancer awareness cars. Love to see it out here. We got a race on our hands, Steve. This is fantastic. At Pocono Raceway in Pennsylvania. 3 cars out front gonna battle it out with only 22 to go.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I mean, these guys all have to pit once more at a minimum. So, I mean, this is the part where this can get interesting, right? Obviously, you want to stay with the leaders as much as you can, and right now they're doing it. I mean, so we'll see as we kind of wind down. I mean, I expect drivers to start making pit stops about 5 or 6 laps from now. So we'll see how that works out, Emery.
Well, hopefully these drivers have put the time in to get off the racetrack and get into those pits, because if you haven't, it's really tough to do under these green flag conditions. Brandon Bowie did get past Josh Larson. Now he's sitting in 5th. Josh Larson might be losing some tires here as he's dropped all the way back to 7th. He needs a caution, and he needs to get into the pits to change those tires. He is one of the drivers that stayed out. Joseph Mealy is also that other driver in that 39. He's in that Chevy. He's in 9th spot. So 1, 2 drivers are now about to fall out of the top 10, which I think Joseph Mealy and Josh Larson are going to go in the pits and get tires.
Here they come.
Looking at it now, 20 laps to go. These 2 drivers were the ones that stayed out. They got to go in and make these changes.
Caution flag.
And look at that. Caution flag is out. Unbelievable, Steve. This changes everything.
I'll tell you what, though, that is an unbelievably good timing for Josh Larson and Joseph Mealy, who were down pit road when the yellow came out. This is exactly what they wanted to see. Absolutely great news for them, but bad news for Nick Simpson, who actually was involved in that yellow flag right there. You can see some right side damage. Right fender right above the wheel well there. So we'll take a look back. Nick Simpson again was the one involved in the last caution, who tried to sneak it in 3 wide, but tangled up Meeks and Smith. So we'll see what actually happens here. Race day replay. Oh my lord. Thomas Meeks. Nick
Yikes.
Simpson. Uh-oh.
I think we had one car go completely left way down below. Almost ran into the pits, as we're going to see it here. Big time wreck Oh, is that the number 7?
Yeah, Scott Casorn gets down into the pits right here. Not sure if he hit the wall. We'll go further back a little bit. It's hard to really try and find out when all this happened, but man, oh man, crazy.
If he could save that, I would be very impressed because he just got a shot to the rear. Oh,
yeah.
Not only is that some damage, I think he's going to get some speeding in the pits penalty as well as he drives through.
Yeah, that's
unfortunate for him.
Obviously, he didn't mean to take pit road like that. He was involved in that in that wreck, so black flags can be cleared if need be. But we'll take a look once more again. Alternate angle here. You can see Scott kind of wiggle out of turn 3, so I think ultimately that's what we're going to see. I want to look real quick if we can once more, but on board from Meeks's cockpit here, and just kind of see what we see Scott do in the right corner right there. Yeah, we see him get loose. Saw the wiggle.
Man.
And then Meeks seemingly had nowhere to go. Maybe had time to check up a little bit, but obviously at 200 miles an hour, tough to do that. So we'll let race control decide what they do, but
Meeks was on a laser right there. He kept it as straight as he can. And for some reason, I'm not sure what it is. I think Meeks has a sign on his car. Maybe he's a big old magnet because he is always in the mix with these cautions. It happens every race. I don't know if it's a situation where he's in the back of the race or what's going on, but man, oh man, he is always white knuckling that steering wheel. But now these drivers are in the pits, going to take a couple tires and get back on the track with a little bit of fuel. As you see him only take 2. We're going to only have about 16 to go when we go back. Green flag. These are huge pit stops at this stage of the race.
Yeah, and here's the thing, Emery. It's just how fate aligned. I mean, right now, to your point, 18 to go. Yellow flag is still up in the air. So right now, to your point, about 16 laps to go is going to be what we're going to be good to go with for fuel. So that's the question right now. Fuel mileage is kind of an issue. Because, I mean, again, we knew that they were going to pit around this time, maybe a couple laps from now. But since the yellow has come out, everyone's kind of good to go on fuel now. So this is a very timely situation for all these guys. I mean, Brandon Six, Brandon Bowie, these guys were leading the race, obviously, Pierce. But, man, now that they can take or pit right now for the fuel under this yellow, this sets us up for kind of a crazy finish. Because, again, Mealy and Larson, yet again, find themselves P1 and P2. That caution, Emery, was so well timed for them. It's just crazy. Actually, I kind of want to bring in Josh Larson right now and kind of just find out, man, how he's feeling. Because this was perfect.
Yeah, let's bring in Josh Larson. We'll have a word with him as he was one of the drivers that went in to get some tires, and then the caution came out. Josh Larson, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Josh, you and Mealy stayed out. You ran as long as you could. You said, you know what? I need to drop in those pits. I need to get fresh tires because I'm losing a ton of spots. As soon as you went in there and that caution came out, what were your thoughts? Because now you're sitting 1 and 2 again.
Oh, me and my teammate, we couldn't believe it. We did this for track positioning, so if you're going to follow the leaders down pit road, you're always going to follow the leaders. And back there, it's a hornet's nest in the back of the field. It's hard to pass. It's hard to make moves. So we want to do something different, and we couldn't believe we got a huge break. I don't know if I have winning speed, but man, if we can get out here with a top 8, top 10, I'd be super happy.
Right on. Well, hey, it's all working out for you right now at Pocono, and good luck to you the rest of this race. We'll talk with you later.
10-4. We'll see you guys.
All right. That is Josh Larson. Looks like he's sitting second at the moment. His teammate, Joseph Mealy, he's in first. Can that caution help them out late in this race to try to get a win? He was saying he wants to get a top 10 finish. Let's see how this works. Another driver up front here, too, is Trevor in that 23 car. That's Chevy. He's up 23 spots in 4th. Roger Pierce sitting there in 5th. Brandon Bowie in 6th. Then you got DJ Honeycutt, Donnie Honeycutt Daryl Young, Merrick. That is your top
Yeah.
10 as they try to fight for position as they're going to go side by side. And Joseph Mealy is now your leader. Some crazy stuff happening at the end of this race right now, Steve. I cannot wait to go back green. This pace car is going to jump off the track, and we will go back green. Green flag's out. We're back racing in Pennsylvania at Pocono for the Back to Blue 200. That number 39 car is going to take us into turn 1. Josh Larson, his teammate's going to be right behind him. What do they got for us? Can Brandon 6 make his way back through the front?
3 wide right here. What's going to happen? Brandon 6 tried to go 3 wide. It looks like almost, but not quite. Keep in mind, these front 2 have 4 tires. 4 fresh tires. Trevor Zlasny took no tires. And then I believe Brandon 6 took 2. So varying strategies right here as we wind down this race, Emery. A lot can still happen. Doring, Roger Pierce, Brandon 6. Tell you what, we want to see a new winner. These drivers are saying. And right now, it's very clear that we're making an effort to do it.
Yeah, it just might happen at Pocono. As they cross 15 to go, Joseph Mealy with the clean air. Josh Larson's going to work with them, though. I think they both like to be up front. They don't have any chaos behind, not a bunch of traffic. It is single file for them to just let the race come to them as Brandon 6 dives to the inside, makes a big push, trying to get past Josh Larson. Just quite doesn't have it. Man, this front race right now is wild. Car getting loose on the inside.
Kenny Real really lost it right there on the turn 1, but maintains it, holds on to it. Great job right there. Josh Larson holding on as long as he can. Again, has the 4 tires, but like he said, just doesn't have the speed maybe that Brandon 6 or other drivers have. Josh lets him have it, looks like. So, hey, a lot of respect on track.
You got to have that. You definitely do. And you're right. Brandon 6 kind of gets by Josh Larson, but Josh just kind of gave him the inside, and that's not a bad move. Still a lot of time in this race, as you can see that Josh Larson's still right there on the bumper of 6. Now Brandon 6 is going to actually take the lead. He's jumping way out front, going to pass Joseph Mealy. 14 to go. 13 when the cross. We got 2 cars loose. 1 car getting sideways.
Oh,
big
boy.
contact.
Man, Brandon Bowie, Trevor Zlasny getting involved in each other. 14 laps to go. That was tough. Brandon 6 actually might not have too much damage, but Trevor Zlasny definitely slammed into the inside safer barrier. Tough break right there for these 2.
Brandon Bowie with some contact. Looks like Roger Pierce might have even got involved. He might have some damage to the front of that car. Have to take another look back there. He actually got through it. Man.
Yeah, we'll go back even further. The yellow came out way late, so we'll see what back up to the beginning of turn 1 if we can. Take that chopper view. So this is out of 3. So Bowie obviously catches to the rear end of Zlasny here. We'll just watch the whole front stretch, see how this thing develops. So Bowie catches Trevor obviously right here. Gonna peek inside. Oh, Bowie gets a little tight right there, it seems like. Collects the 23. And then, yeah, he gets around. Daryl Young gets involved a little bit too, so.
Yeah, that was Daryl Young. I thought that was Roger Pierce. So Roger, he's okay in that 27, that extreme race car. Man, oh man, I thought he had some big contact, but got through it. Brandon Bowie, on the other hand, is now going to start from the back. And we're running out of time for him to make his way back through. There's some big contact on the 23 of Trevor.
Yeah, so tough racing, tight conditions, obviously. So Brandon Bowie looks like going to be given that EOL for causing that caution. So tough break, obviously, for Bowie at one of the tracks that he likes a lot. So 13 to go. Might not be his day today for sure. But up front, Brandon 6 leading the field. A couple drivers, though, right there trying to catch up to him. Joseph Mealy, Josh Larson. Can still
Yeah, you
happen
go
today.
back- Absolutely. You go back even farther. I mean, this whole top 10, you got Matt Fleming again coming out having a solid outing. He's sitting 10th. He's been so consistent all year, right in this mix. Can he put a race together and get up there the top 5 possibly? Daryl Young, Nick Lights, Devin in the 26, DJ Honeycutt. I mean, that's your 10th through 6th position. Any of these drivers can come out here right now, get a good run, possibly get a win. I love to see this. Frankie, don't count out him. That 48, he's in that Chevy back there in 12th, struggling a little bit. And then right behind him's Kenny Real. So big time names.
For sure. And right now, I mean, there's a couple drivers that, I mean, I wouldn't even count out. I mean, Donnie Honeycutt right here in that 22. He's shown speed multiple times. Just hasn't had, so far at least, the season that he's expected as far as, you know, luck and whatnot. But Donnie Honeycutt having a great run today so far. Very, very fast driver. So we'll see how he can get back to the front here, especially a couple drivers choosing to go down pit road right here. But yeah, 12 laps to go, about 11 laps to go when we go back green. So plenty of time, Emery, to get this thing back going. But right now with this yellow, fuel is no longer a concern for pretty much anybody here. So it's just a good old-fashioned shootout to the end.
Yeah, this will be the shootout till the end. These laps are going to go quick. Joseph Mealy, Josh Larson, and Merrick, they need to get a big-time run early on when this race goes back green. They've got to get Brandon Six. They got to be right behind him as soon as possible. They don't want Brandon Six to pull away with that clean air. I mean, he's got some tires. She should be good, as we're looking at the choose car. But I'll tell you what, I mean, all these drivers in the top 5 need to get a fantastic restart to track down Brandon Six.
Oh, yeah. I mean, listen, I mean, obviously right now it looks like Brandon Six is going to be the guy to potentially take home another win today. But at the same time, there's just so many hungry guys, you know, in that second, you know, third line, right? I mean, Merrick Watchorn has the speed today. He's shown it. I mean, Joseph Mealy, Roger Pierce, these guys have the speed. Smirker not too far back in P6. So there are guys that we have that absolutely have the speed to win this race. Just can't quite put the race together like they want to, I think. And right now, with about 10 laps to go that we'll have here to end this race, it's just, hey, who can have the better restart? Who can, you know, stay out in front? Who can, you know, have the clean air, right? It's all those small things that have to add together. And a lot of these guys can definitely make it happen. But hey, either way, great race so far. Awesome racing and just all throughout the field, really. I mean, 1 through 30. It's but hey, one more quick thing to him, Ray. Hey, thank God that, you know, we have the kind of league here in the ASRA that, you know, just everyone respects each other, right? I mean, you know, a lot of similar winners and people in the front and the back, but no one's wrecking each other for a win. No one's sick of somebody finishing first all the time. You know, well, maybe they are, but they're not wrecking the guy to try and get a win. You know what I mean? Everything is done respectfully and with racecraft. So we love to see that. And these boys put on a hell of a show. So right now, 10 laps to go, Emery. What do you expect, man?
Man, I think it's just going to be a crazy shootout. These guys are going to drive as hard as they can to get to the front and win this race. As we're seeing the fog really roll in now, that might change some stuff to this. We only have 10 laps to go when they cross. But, man, Season 5 has been spectacular. I've loved every single part of it. As the pace car is off, we're going to go back green. Brandon Six, and that 66 is out front. He's going to run the outside lane. Right behind Joseph Mealy, Merrick, and Roger Pierce. Josh Larson right there in the top 5 as well. As they go into turn 1, Brandon Six got a good jump, but they're right behind.
Yeah, we're going to start to get crazy here down to that Long Pond straight. Getting into turn 2. This is where you're going to pass the most cars. Three wide right here.
Still a lot of traffic in the back. Unbelievable. But we got a battle up front, Steve. Brandon Six, Merrick in that 91. They are side by side.
Great job by Merrick. Gets the side draft. Ooh, doors him, hold on to it. Has the 4 fresh tires, but can he make it clean down turn 1? Rides him high. He is not getting off of him. This is gonna open the door maybe for Mealy.
Merrick made contact all the way through that corner. That gave Joseph Mealy and Roger Pierce some gainage. Now they're right on the bumpers of 6 and Merrick. Again, they go back into the turn as they're dooring each other. 9 laps to go, 8 when they cross.
Yellow flag in the air.
Caution. Flag is out.
Woo.
Looks like we had some issues in the back. We'll take another look, but man.
I'll tell you what, that was close racing. I mean, is it, was it clean? But hey, with 8 laps to go, you can tell, hey, Merrick, he is looking for that W, and he is going to just fight for it.
I mean, it was racing. That's as clean as you can get to just hard racing. Yep. It could have been crazy.
Yeah.
They could have turned each other.
Exactly.
But man, the 91 and the 66 side by side in turns 1 and 2, there was no room for error there, and they both are still up front.
Yeah,
I think we're gonna see it again, Steve.
Yeah, tight racing. You love to see that.
We're gonna take another look at this again up front. These two drivers battling it out.
Well, so actually, we're trying to find the replay of the caution. So right now, it doesn't look like that. I guess we're a little confused here in the booth.
It might have been Richard. We'll take a look. I think it's a number 4 of
here
Richard.
It is. Yeah, so Richard Walsifer. I'm sorry, Woodruff.
50s. Yes.
Yeah, Richard Walsifer and Jonathan Wright getting tangled up. Very confused, though, because it doesn't look like, at least to the iRacing standards, doesn't look like something that would normally be called a caution. So I'm interested to why the algorithm decided that was a caution. But hey, we'll go back a couple more times and look at it, see if we can figure out what might have happened here, maybe even before that. But
yeah,
I
think that car just going a little sideways on that track kind of drew the caution and it came out. But man, oh man, 7 to go. I think we're gonna have 5 to go when they go back green. You can see it 3 wide right there.
Yeah, JD right here making it 3 wide. Oh, so Woodruff hits the wall, tags the wall, and then just tags the inside, or the outside, excuse me, the right side of Jonathan Wright. Gets him into that wall, so not a huge amount of damage to that number 04, but potentially could be enough to definitely hurt the feel of that car. So hate to see it, but man, it's just tough racing. 3 wide right there. Yeah, you can see it now, that damage to that right front tire, but not good. Within 10 laps, though, we expect to see tough, close racing. That right there is just another example of it.
Yes, it is. And back to Blue 200. Not disappointed here at Pocono Raceway. We're almost to the end of this race. We want to thank everyone at home watching on Race Day Live. We appreciate you being here. Like, sub, follow, tell your friends and family. See some people in the chats. In fact, one chatter in there saying, hey, who do we think is going to win this race? I personally think anyone's race in that top 10, top 5 spot. I really think that. Josh Larson, he's got tires. He can come up front and try to get this win, steal the win. Joseph Mealy's right there in the mix. Roger Pierce, Merrick obviously has the speed on these short runs to compete with Brandon Six. Brandon Six, I think this is maybe the first time this year where he is going to be looking in his rearview mirror saying, hey, what am I going to have to do to hold off Merrick and the rest of these drivers?
Yeah, right now, 1 lap to go here before we go back green. Pace car lights will go off here, but we're going to have 5 laps, Emery, to really kind of decide this. Keep in mind, Brandon Six right now has 2 tires, 2 right side tires, and then, which is a good thing if it stays green, right? If it stays green after they made that decision, typically 2 tires isn't a bad move. But right now, we're getting some yellows, another yellow could definitely happen. Just end of the race, you know, chaotic, right? But Watchhorn, Roger Pierce, Mealy, these guys all have the 4 tires, so they can, you know, if they just get a little bit of momentum, they can definitely get around Brandon 6. So we'll see here quickly who has it for him.
Yeah, and then the drivers in the back were getting, you know, farther into the regular season. Guys like Kenny Real right on that cutoff mark. He's in that 15th spot, that playoff bubble. He needs to finish well. So he's out here sitting right there in 11th. Can he jump up a few spots to get some points on the board to get above Matt Fleming in that championship playoff cutoff bubble? Fun to watch. 6 laps to go, 5 when they cross. Brandon 6 and Merrick is going to be your 1 and 2. Roger Pierce, Joseph Mealy, Devin in that 26. He's in 5th. Drop down from there, you got Josh Larson, DJ Honeycutt, Nick Lights, Matthew Fleming, and Frankie Barroso. That's going to be your top 10. They are on the back stretch, going to get one more corner by, and we will go back green here in Pennsylvania. 2.5 miles, 3 turns. A lot of action here. I cannot wait to go back green, Steve. We are about to do it. Pace car lights are off. They're going to make one more turn, and I think we may go all the way to the end of this race. Time will tell as we are going to go back green flag racing. 5 to go. 6 got to jump on the outside. Get the 91 tracking down. Going into turn 1.
Yeah, this is the fight right here. Pierce has a great jump right here. Watchhorn, though, right there on the inside. Uh-oh, gets pretty tight. Gonna squeeze Pierce into the wall, maybe. Oh, gets turned around. Big wreck on the Long Pond Straight. Yellow flag out. Absolutely chaotic race. Huge wreck. And it involves everybody.
That might be one of the bigger wrecks I've seen at Pocono. Huge issues here late in the race. 5 laps to go, and that caution just came out. Unbelievable. I'm not sure, but I'm thinking Merrick might have had some old tires there. He might have worn them off and tried to battle with 6, just got loose. And wow, we had a big time wreck.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it. Hey, when you're in position to get a win or you fight for a win, you know, what do you got, right? At the end of the day, what do you have to get that? And right there, it's a good example. I mean, Brandon 6 was just in position and just, man, oh man, just snuck on by. But we'll take a look back. Obviously, this is going to be a big one. We'll go back all the way to that green flag. Excuse me. There's a lot to break down right here for sure.
Yeah, while you're breaking that down, Devin got through in the 26. That Ford Nick Lights got through it. DJ Honeycutt jumps all the way as we're seeing another replay right now. When he goes into turn 1, I think he just maybe overdrove it a little bit. I know he comes up here.
I mean, right there, Merrick gets tight. You can see it.
Now, if we go back, Steve, did 39 get a little bit of contact? Did Joseph Mealy maybe touch the bumper of Merrick? It's hard to see in the replay, but it looked really close.
Yeah, it's tough for sure. I mean, this is not, the results that a lot of these guys wanted. I mean, Roger Pierce right here has some front end damage. Pretty significant, looking like Trevor Zelazny, Scott Casorn. A lot of guys snuck through it, to your point, but man, this is just, that was right in front of the field. The big one.
Yeah, that was a bunch of chaos.
The big one can strike.
You typically don't see that much chaos, that much carnage at Pocono, but it happened here today. We're taking another look at it. I'm just not sure if the number 39 might have made some contact. This will be a better view. Go back just a little bit farther than that. Just.
Yeah, and just kind of really. I think you're right. Right here. Yeah. Yeah,
it was close. I don't think he did though. So maybe got him a little loose. I don't think any net code.
I think Merrick was thinking he was going to be there, maybe dive it in. So he decided to stay committed to that secondary line. And I just think he broke too late, maybe, and just got tight, got up into Pierce. And then as we play it, I mean, you can see Merrick is just right there on his, on the left side of the 27. And that 91 being so tight, he just comes across the nose of that 27 and just see you later.
Man, oh man. Couple big hits at the end for him as well. Well, I think this is going to bring out a green-white checkered attempt.
It sure looks like it.
Yes, this changes a lot of stuff. And maybe these drivers that were in the back that got fresh tires, that got all four, maybe they, the drivers, can make a move on Brandon Six. Because again, he's on old tires. Can Brandon Six hold off this field out front? He has been out front for a long time, and he's got to go a couple laps before this race ends. Devin in the 26 is right there. Joseph Mealy in the 39. Matt Fleming has jumped up a ton of spots. He's in 4th. Nick Lights in 5th. Mike in that 97 Ford 6th. DJ Honeycutt, Daryl Young, James Kaufman, and Nicholas Simpson. Man, up 20 spots. He got up here a ton of spots. He's been hanging out in the back, and he put together a good race here at Pocono. That's your top 10. Crazy, crazy flip of the field. Yeah. See if we can stay true the rest of this race to get to the end. Devin in that 26, can he keep up with Brandon Six now? He's going to start from the inside. Brandon Six will start on the outside. Watch out for Matthew Fleming, Joseph Mealy. We just talked about him. Can they make the run? Does Brandon Six run out of tires here? Does he fall off pace? It's gonna be a couple laps. It's gonna be the first lap. I think Brandon Six is gonna pull away. He's gonna get fresh air. But then when that white flag comes, that will be the true testament. See who can catch him and who can track him down. Pace cars off. We're gonna find out here shortly as we're going back green here in Pennsylvania. Brandon Six out front on the outside. It's going to take us into turn 1. Devin Smirker, can he make the run he needs to make to get the win here at Pocono? Devin's car looks pretty good. He's keeping up with him. We're going to see Brandon dodge that draft again. 26 is going to dive to the inside. And 6 is just going to cut him up. Another caution is out. We got a big-time wreck in the back. Thomas Meek's involved. Daryl Young's involved. Julio looks like he's got some problems. I'm starting to realize why they call this the tricky triangle, because it's starting to really have some problems late in this race. Good job by some of those drivers going low, getting in the grass to avoid the wreck. That's not easy to do. Daryl Young went for a spin. I think he did about 4 or 5 360s right there as we're going to take a look. It is getting crazy. Some of these guys got to go into the pits and fix their car before they can get back on the track. But everyone up front now, the top 10, the top 5, I should say, have clean cars. Brandon 6 is clean. Devin in that 26 is good to go. Joseph Mealy, Nick Lights, Matthew Fleming all have clean cars to finish this race. We're going to restack them and go back green flag. This does not happen. We've got one more green, white, checkered if we need. But I'm telling you, these guys up front, they want to keep it green so they can finish and see who can win. Brandon 6 especially, he's been having to battle off all these drivers all day long, sitting up front. Yeah, if fuel comes into play, I mean, that would be just a wild start to finish race. If we go another green, white, checkered, he's absolutely right. And I was thinking about it. I was trying to do some math, but you took the words out of my mouth. And man, oh man, if we gotta mess with fuel and do that strategy along with all that's gone on here at Pocono, what a wild time in Pennsylvania as they are about to restack. We're going to go back green. Steve, does Brandon 6 hold this field off? Does he have what it takes? I know he has what it takes, but does he have the tires to make it happen?
I think he does, right? Because we've seen it time and time again. So, I think he does. I think if we, have the restarts, and the leaders have a huge advantage with these restarts in the restart zone, right? So if he was in second right now or whatnot, I'd be a little concerned, but I just think Brandon's just, at this point too good. I think he's got the lead, the restart zone and the advantage. So I think he does. I think tires wise, it does play a role, but it has to go green the entire way, right? I think these short little bursts of, restarts don't help the field. I think it helps him, right? So it's that's the tough thing. Merrick Watchorn right there had a great chance to potentially go for a win or contend at least. But, like I said earlier, it just, we have drivers that can win, but you got to put together the whole package if you want to beat the best. And right now, it's just, that's what we see. It's just mistakes and tight racing and, loose or tight conditions. It's just all kinds of different things. So right now, our second green and white checkered, I expect this to get hairy, Emery.
You're absolutely right. Matt Fleming in the 88. He is on the bubble of the playoffs. Can he get a big-time finish right now? He's in top 5. Can he make it last? Pace car lights are off. Pace car is jumping off the track, and we're going to go green flag. Back live, Pocono Raceway, Green flag underway. Brandon 6 out front on the outside. Devin, does he have what it takes to track him down to get the win here in Pocono?
I mean, you can see it. Devin right there still gets a great jump. He's right there, right behind him. Again, I don't expect him to really gain a lot of time right here, but that second lap, that white flag lap, watch for Devin to really make a move right there. If anybody has anything for Brandon 6, it is that 26 All Things Go podcast machine.
Does he have what it takes? Don't count out Joseph Mealy in that 39. He's sitting third.
I'll tell you what, Smirker is right there. He needs just a little bit of a break. He's going to get the draft here. He's going to follow him.
He takes it all the way down below. Steve, we got the sim motion. White flag is out. Who's going to take the win? Devin, Brandon 6. They're going to battle it to the end.
Gives him a little kiss. Moves him out of the way. What does he have for him? Coming down the Long Pond straight. Turn 1. Coming out of it. Gave him the chrome horn, maybe in this case the pink horn. Right here, coming down turn 2, tunnel corner. What can Devin Smirker do here?
Devin's on the inside, little bit of door action. They're making contact. Devin now up front. Brandon 6 gets a little bit of loose. Devin does make the pass. He's up front. Final turn here. Brandon 6 on the inside gives him a big bump. He's right on the bumper.
Oh, man.
Turns Brandon 6.
Who's going to win this race? Nick Light's going to be coming down across the checkered flag. He will win the Back to Blue 200. Unbelievable finish.
Nick Lights, Joseph Mealy, DJ Honeycutt, Matt Fleming, and Tyler Honeycutt. And the number 3, that's going to be your top 5. Nick Lights gets the win here at Pocono, and that number 12 Harpoon Designs. Unbelievable finish to this race. It has been spectacular, Steve.
Man, I'll tell you what, for white flags, you cannot put on a show more than that. Sim Motion, I'll tell you what, got their money's worth right there for the white flag. Nick Lights gets the win, subbing in for Marshall Harris. Just an absolutely impeccable job for him in that harpoondesign.com machine. Unbelievable job. Brandon 6 just did not like how Devin Smirker treated him on that last lap. Gave him the old bump and run a few times, but hey, you know what? Tough racing. Brandon 6 said, you know what? If I'm not going to win, you're not going to win either. Took him clean out. Hate to see that. We'll cover more of that in a second, but right now the spotlight belongs to Nick Lights.
Nick Lights with the sub today, coming out in Pocono and getting the win. Amazing job for him. He was hanging in the back, stayed alive, did everything it took to be here at the end. And man, oh man, congratulations to him. Big shout out to Joseph Mealy too. He got a podium in that Chevy, that 39. He's in second. And DJ Honeycutt, that number 15 in the toy, he is third. That's your top 3 as we're looking at these two guys burning them together. Pretty cool to see. What a race, Steve. I am speechless, man. I'll have to go back and take a look and see how that unfolded with Brandon 6. And I couldn't tell you. It was hard racing, a lot of contact. I'm just not sure. I got to take another look.
Yeah, we're gonna watch back right here, absolutely. But man, that was just a crazy time. We'll cover it in detail for sure. I mean, white flag. We'll start off right here. This is where everybody wants to see. Brandon 6. We'll kind of watch the chopper view. I feel like this is gonna be the best angle. I mean, Devin Smirker gets a great run right here. Down into turn 1. Gives him a little shot right there. Boom. Just a little chrome horn. Moves him out of the way. Hey, that's racing right there. Comes down. Drag race down the Long Pond straight. Tunnel turn is just so hard. I think this is the part that Brandon did not like. Devin dives in right here. Tight racing. Devin kind of doors him a little bit. Brandon gets loose. And then turn 3. Brandon Six just says, you know what? Nah. Dives it in. A little bit more of a wreck. And just,
Big push.
that was it. After everything's said and done, I mean, oof. Tough right there. Brandon Six going to cross the line. Unfortunately, in 28th place. Not good right there. Devin Smirker actually crosses the line 11th, so obviously not the win that he probably should have gotten, but still P11. Not a great result that he wanted, but hey, either way, Nick Lights is your winner. We're going to go and thank our sponsors, Emery, and then we'll come back and talk to our top three. Nick Lights, Joseph Mealy, DJ Honeycutt.
And we are back here in Pocono. We just had a wild finish. Nick Lights is your winner in the Chevy. Joseph Mealy, DJ Honeycutt, your top three podiums. We're going to have a word with our number 3 finisher in that 15, DJ Honeycutt. DJ, you got a copy?
Copy.
DJ, how are we doing, man? You finished 3rd. Congratulations on that finish. You're sitting 7th overall in point standings. This will definitely jump you up. You're in the playoff bubble. Fantastic job out here. What were your thoughts on the race and how you feeling?
I mean, yeah, this track's grown on me a lot over the years racing here, but man, that race, you can't say it wasn't exciting because we were racing the whole time. That finish was wild, man. I did not think I'd be picking up 3 spots like that in the last corner, but made it stick and tried to get a little something there on the outside, but Nick did a real good job blocking Joseph and I coming to the line. And, I mean, a top 3 after that, I'll take it.
Yeah, late in the race, it's kind of seems like the story. Just want to be there at the end and stay alive, and you definitely did. Before we get you out of here, do you want to thank your sponsors real quick?
Yeah, I don't really get no sponsors, but I always love to thank my family. I love racing with them, the Honeycutt boys. They race me clean. We race around each other a bit today, so that was always fun. Just shout out all my family who roots us on, watches our races, and thank y'all for the broadcast. They do a fantastic job.
Absolutely. Well, that's DJ Honeycutt finishing 3rd here from North Carolina. Congratulations to him. We will see him next week. Man, big finish for him. He's going to be jumping up some points. Next up, we will bring in the number 39 in that Chevy, Joseph Mealy. He finished 2nd. It was right there in the mix. Joseph Mealy. Joseph, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Joseph, how are you doing, man? What a wild race. You were up there in the front. You stayed out there with your teammate, and that paid off, and then you jumped back a little bit, but come to find out you finished 2nd. Congratulations to you. What are your thoughts on this race?
That was a lot. That first half didn't look so good, and I don't know. It's I'm really happy that we could get flagship in victory lane with Nick. That's awesome. 1-2 with my buddy. Man, there's so much. That was exciting as hell, right? That was a great race.
Yeah, no, the race, watching it from the booth was fantastic. There was so much going on, and the end, the way that played out, you can't ask for more. And Pocono did not disappoint. But big shout out to you. You're sitting about 8th in points. You jump up. You're gonna probably sitting around 5th or 4th, maybe more than that. So you made a big improvement. Congratulations on that P2. Before we get you out of here, you want to thank your sponsors and friends and family?
Yeah, you said it for me. Flem Dogs Auto Repair, MB Roofing, Murphy's Mechanical, Wheels America, Harpoon Designs for these awesome paints. Man, my family's out there supporting me every week for this, iRacing stuff, and I really appreciate that. I really appreciate getting to come out here every week and do something fun and that I enjoy. So that was a fun one, and appreciate what you guys do. So thank you.
Absolutely. Definitely one for the books. That is Joseph Mealy in that 39, finishing second. Big, strong performance by him, and congratulations. But hey, one more driver we're going to bring in. That's that number 12 in the Chevy, Nick Lights, subbing today. Got the win, Nick Lights. I think we're going to bring him in here. Nick, you got a copy.
Hey, I got you guys.
How are you doing, man? What a finish. Craziness going on. This race has just been wild from the start. What are your thoughts, man? You come in here, you're subbing, and you're getting a win. I know you're not a driver full time, but you got to be happy with your win here at Pocono.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean that race was crazy. We started out pretty fast, I think, in my opinion, for how we were doing in practice and stuff. And then we got in a little damage there because I got into the 3 a little bit, so feel a little bad about that. But came back and was able to take the lead from that little mishap they had there off of 3.
Hey, it played out good for you. And I will say, man, early on, practice didn't look the best, but you came out and you had really good pace. And I think the car really felt good for you in the race, and it proved, and you finished first. Congratulations, Nick Lights. Before you get out of here, you want to thank some friends and family.
Yeah, I want to ask Steve, does this lock me into the playoffs? No, I'm just kidding. Part-time, but...
It's funny you bring that up. I mean, hey, you come in, I mean, obviously subbing in for Marshall Harris, and I mean, I guess we can use the word gifted, the win, but hey, I mean, great job. You had to be there, obviously, to be, to be in contention, so a great job. Obviously not locked in for the playoffs, but hey, it's a damn good story, so love to see you back, man. Obviously, 2-time truck champion and, all that stuff, so great job right there for you. Hey, good win today for sure.
Thank you. Yeah, shout out to Marshall for letting me use his card tonight. I want to thank also Wheels America Harpoon Design for that awesome looking race car we drove today. Murphy's Mechanical, MB Roofing, Flem Dogs, Auto Repair, and you guys for putting on this stream. It was a lot of fun racing tonight.
Absolutely, man. It was fun to watch you out there. Congratulations on that win. Go celebrate, and maybe we'll see you next week. I'm not sure if you're coming back or not, but if we do, we'll see you then.
Thank you.
All right, that's Nick Lights, your winner here at Pocono. Did a fantastic job. He is a fantastic driver as well. But man, oh man, it's finally came to the end. That's your top 3. What a finish, what a race here in Pennsylvania. I can't ask for more. Appreciate everybody at home watching on Race Day Live. We appreciate you being here. I hope you guys like the show. Next week, we go to Milwaukee Mile, so that'll be a different pace, different racetrack. And who's going to come out victorious there? Want to appreciate everybody being involved in this. Back the Blue 200 has been quite the race. I think it's been one of our best of the season. I think Steve is going to come in here and say something real quick. Steve, you got a copy?
Yeah, yes, sir. I just wanted to just real quick. I mean, yeah, great race. Real quick, too. Next week is going to be the Dash for Cash race. So we did this earlier in the season, and next week is going to be that Dash for Cash again. So the top 4 of tonight will become that Dash for Cash for next week. So Nick Lights, Joseph Mealy, DJ Honeycutt, and Matthew Fleming are going to be the top 4. So if Nick Lights cannot race next week, it'll go to that 5th position of Tyler Honeycutt. So really cool job for those guys. We'll see him competing next week. But yeah, man, great job today. Great race. Caution filled a little bit, but hey, sometimes that happens. Drama starting to unfold here as the playoffs creep up.
Absolutely. Regular season's coming to an end. Playoffs are right around the corner. Back to Blue 200 has been fantastic. 80 laps are done. Your winner is Nick Lights. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight. We will be back next week on a Tuesday at Milwaukee Mile. Appreciate you, and have a good night.